think about it and then potentially vote. It is.
It's certainly a potential, sir. You asked if there was potential to be a vote. There's potential to be a vote.
I do appreciate you letting me know. Let me ask you a question. You said that the populations of these individual districts were drawn to a near, I believe you said it was near and equal populations as possible. Am I getting that correct? So what about, you said that's what the law requires. Doesn't the law also require that like communities that have like interests get put together so that they have an opportunity to choose an elected official that represents their interests?
Mr. Raw, you want an answer as to what the law requires? Town attorney?
You know, I appreciate the town attorney answering the question. I'd actually like you to answer the question.
Sir, you asked me a legal question, the town attorney. I'll give you the answer, sir.
Okay, thank you.
This map meets the requirements of the United States Constitution, the Voting Rights Act, and all the applicable laws that concern the district. So this map does that.
What are some of those applicable laws?
The Voting Rights Act and the Constitution of the United States and the case law that surrounds all of those things.
Okay, I was here on the 19th of March, I believe, when this map was first put on the record. Were any other maps offered to the public record? Were any other parties putting maps?
There was one other map that was delivered and it was put in the town clerk's file.
Would that be the map that was shown by the League of Women Voters?
Don't believe that we had a map submitted by the League of Women Voters.
So there is in fact a third map that hasn't been seen yet today. Yeah,
Well, no, I'm talking prior to today.
Correct. Right. As I understand it, the League of Women Voters put a map in at the clerk's office. As I understand it, the Town Council Democratic Committee also offered a map based on the 2010 census. Let me ask you, Mr. Rock, was the 2010 census data available to you to give to Skyline Democrat to use when they do these district lines?
Of course, the census data was
The
used.
2010 census data that just occurred from the previous election. You had that in hand or on file?
The census data was used in preparing the census, yes.
2010.
The most recent census, which I mean, I'm not going to quibble with you.
No,
It may have been announced in 2011 at the end of 10, beginning of 11. The most recent census data was used.
So you're saying that if I were to go look and make sure that when this map was offered to the public, I believe that was the morning of March 19th, I believe that was the day it was first available to be looked at, that in fact you will have had that census data prior to that point. In fact, I believe it was early February when in fact Skyline was first hired. Are any of the map makers here? Are any of them here potentially to ask our detailed questions about why they came up with the lines they drew? I'm sure.
If you're asking if Skyline is here,
Yes.
Skyline is not available.
So there are no cartographers here, no one who will explain why this went this way, why that went that way. No?
Once again, the map meets all of the federally and state mandated criteria.
Yes, but it doesn't test, it's smell tested. I think that's the point. Yeah, let me ask you another question. Mr. Santino. Maybe someone would even like to yield me more time to clarify when I'm finished. But you said that there was no impact on town taxes based on these districts, correct? So there are no discretionary funds that any of the council members get to choose where they go.
We don't do member items.
You don't do member items. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Turi.
No, it's all right.
Your time is expired. Martin Meltonian. Mr. Martin Meltonian. Mr. Martin Meltonian. Mr. You cannot see time. Mr. Martin.
I'm sorry, that's a very standard operating procedure in Robert's Rules of Order.
That is not.
I was, Mr. Santino,
Meltonian, you ready to speak?
Mr. Santino, I have my time given to the legislature.
Let him speak.
So this body functions different than all others?
You cannot yield time in this forum. You have had your 3 minutes. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Meltonian is next.
Well, I submit that I have not had my right to be heard. In fact, Mr. Ra was speaking for a proportion.
You are very welcome to submit additional comments or questions to the town clerk. Mr.
Too tough for
Marconi,
you?
Please come to the
All right, well, these cameras are rolling, and you are all seeing what's happening right now. Get
Mr.
here.
Marconi, please come to the podium. It's your time.
Everyone will see what you're trying to do.
It is your time, Mr. Marconi.
Thank you very much, Councilman.